Am I the asshole for getting my boss fired and ruining his career after he fired me from a company I created?
Am I the asshole for getting my boss fired and ruining his career after he fired me from the very company I created? I know how that sounds, but stick with me, because the details here are everything. So, let's rewind about 10 years. I was in my early 20s, full of energy and what I thought was a brilliant idea for a tech startup. I poured everything I had into it, my savings, my time, countless sleepless nights. For the first 3 years, it was just me and a laptop in my tiny apartment. I built the company from the ground up, brick by digital brick. It was my baby. As we started to grow, I knew I couldn't do it all alone. I needed to bring in people who were smarter than me in areas where I was weak. That's when I met Mark. Mark was a seasoned executive with a fantastic resume. He was charming, sharp, and seemed to understand my vision perfectly. I hired him as my chief operating officer, and for a while it was a dream partnership. He handled the day-to-day operations, freeing me up to focus on innovation and the big picture strategy. The company flourished under our combined leadership. We were unstoppable. A few years into this, my personal life started to change. I met my now wife and we started talking about having a family. The 80-hour work weeks that I had been pulling for years just weren't sustainable anymore. I wanted to be a present husband and father. I didn't want to miss the first steps or the school plays. So, I made a major decision. I decided to step down as CEO. It wasn't an easy choice, but it felt like the right one for my life. I had a long talk with the board and with Mark. I proposed that Mark take over as CEO. He had earned it, and I trusted him to steer the ship. My plan was to transition into a Chief Innovation Officer role. It was still a senior position, but it was project-based and offered more flexibility. I could work from home more, set my own hours to a degree, and finally have a semblance of work-life balance. I would still be a major shareholder and on the board, so I felt my creation was in safe hands. Everyone agreed. Mark was thrilled. The board supported the transition, and for the first year it worked beautifully. I loved my new role. I was creative, productive, and I was home for dinner every night. Mark seemed to be doing a great job as CEO. The company's profits were up, and morale seemed high, or so I thought. The shift was subtle at first. My projects started getting deprioritized. Budgets for my department were quietly trimmed.